Hey, what's up, everybody? Exactly 1 month ago today, I sat right here, recorded a video, and said I was done buying precious metals, done buying silver, done buying gold, at least for the time being, because I had just purchased this 1 ounce American gold eagle and this 1 ounce American silver eagle, and I needed to reload that cash that I used to purchase precious metals. And I was also waiting for the March 22nd Jerome Powell press conference to see where exactly rates were going to go, if he was going to go up 25 basis points, if he was going to go up higher at that time in February, because that was before all the banking issues was going on. So I was going to wait for that, but more importantly, not waiting for that press conference, but I had to reload my cash that I use to purchase precious metals. For some people, it may not be a big deal breaking out the wallet and purchasing 1 ounce of gold, but for me, that's a pretty big purchase, so I needed to reload the funds that I use to purchase precious metals. So I said I was not going to make a purchase until possibly the end of March, early April. Fast forward to where we're sitting at now, and gold, as I record this video, gold has just once again broke over $2,000 an ounce. Gold has been teetering for the last couple of days, breaking over 2,000, going under 2,000, but nonetheless, it has been sitting at that $2,000 mark. Meanwhile, silver is right just above $23 as I record this video. The US dollar, on the other hand, is also in the green as I record this video, up almost 0.75%, the US dollar to DXY index. So I think silver and gold, more so gold, is going up for a number of reasons. One is because Jerome Powell just had that press conference a couple of days ago on March the 22nd, where he didn't do a pivot, but he did pivot on his own message, which just a few weeks ago was he was going to be possibly more aggressive in the rate hikes, maybe go 50 basis points versus going 25 basis points or 0.25%, but instead he went 0.25%, and the markets like that because even though it wasn't necessarily a pivot in reducing rates, but it was reducing the rate in which he increases interest rates. So I think that's one thing, in my opinion, that the markets did like, is that he's not being as aggressive in raising interest rates. Also, he was hinting at the fact that there may only be one more interest rate increase, which could be a 25 basis point increase in May. Now, the big question is he going to stick to that? I think it's going to be data dependent on inflation. It's going to be data dependent on jobs. Nobody really knows if he's only going to increase interest rates one more time or not. But I think metals are also going up, not just because of what Jerome Powell did and said on March 22nd, but metals are also going up because of all the banking issues. And now you have Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank, which is another bank in Europe, last week it was Credit Suisse, and Credit Suisse got bailed out by UBS, or their assets were bought up by UBS. And the news today is all about Deutsche Bank, and their shares are tumbling. Now, after doing some reading about it, it seems there's a lot of speculation and nobody really knows why Deutsche Bank shares are falling. It seems to me, in my opinion, based on what I've been listening to and based on what I've been reading, it seems to be much about a hangover from the Credit Suisse situation from last week, and also another bank that looks like it was mismanaged, which seems to be the trend. But more details definitely have to come out about Deutsche Bank. But that, I believe, is another reason why gold and silver are spiking, is because of a lot of the banking situation and especially the banking problems going on in Europe. And there was also some reports that possibly there was some U.S. military airstrikes in Syria against Iran. So there's a lot of things working right now in gold's favor, gold and silver's favor, and we're seeing the prices right now spike up. The question remains, am I going to still be purchasing any gold and silver in April, the end of March, early April, which we are quickly approaching. For me personally, I am going to hold off on making purchases at the moment. I am still working on building cash. So right now what my plan is not financial advice. This is just my plan. We have no idea where the price of silver and gold is gonna go. The trend is definitely gold and silver are both going up. How fast are they gonna go up? None of us really know that answer. But in the meantime, I'm willing to work on building up my cash and waiting this out and not having that fear of missing out. When prices go up, that's where everybody gets that itch to start buying, not me. I'm willing to wait this out. Now, when I bought this 1 ounce American Gold Eagle, I bought it right after the last Jerome Powell press conference. I believe it was February the 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. And at that time, I purchased that 1 ounce American Gold Eagle for $1,909. And then a few days following that purchase, gold dropped below $1,800. So I thought that was a pretty bad purchase at that time. But fast forward to where we are right now, and gold is right around $2,000 an ounce. So once again, that just proves we can't really time these markets. For me, I'm gonna work on building up my cash to purchase precious metals. And if it's in the budget to make a small purchase, then maybe I will make a small purchase. In the meantime, I'm going to be working on building my cash reserves, not having that FOMO, not having that fear of missing out. I'm going to be watching these markets, paying attention to what these markets are going to be doing, where the price of gold is headed, where the price of silver is headed. Could we have a decent pullback in gold and silver? I don't have that crystal ball. I say it a number of times on this channel. I do wish I had a crystal ball and could predict the price of silver and gold and where the markets are headed. You never can tell, but maybe Jerome Powell does a pivot on his pivot of doing more of dovish rate increases and less rate increases, going to more of a hawkish rate increase, or maybe he decides to do more rate increases, even though he's hinted at he's only going to do one more rate increase in May of 25 basis point or 1/4%. But we still have to wait on a jobs report in April. We still have to wait on a CPI report in April. So if the jobs report comes in really hot, and if the inflation comes in even hotter than expected when the CPI data comes out, maybe he decides to do another pivot and go more hawkish. You never do know, but I do know that a number of the FOMC members back on March the 21st voted on doing a 50-point rate increase versus a 25 basis point rate increase, but Jerome Powell decided to go 25 and go against a bunch of his members wanting to go 50 basis points. But let me know in the comment section below, are you making any purchases at the current time? Are you buying any silver, buying any gold, making small purchases, making large purchases, or like me, are you sitting back waiting to see where things head, if things are going to calm down, and working on building your cash? I appreciate everybody who took time to watch this video. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll talk to everybody on my next video. Thanks a lot, everyone.